reason why it's so difficult for humans in general, but especially as men. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because
mm.
boy, oh boy, I tried to go there as yeah, I'm this nigga. Got swallowed up. She got swallowed up. But yeah, you got a question, bro.
Yeah, that's very true. And not like things like ayahuasca. I remember I
Mhm.
did it, but I did it in this country. I'm yet to go to Peru to do it,
Yeah, yeah.
which I want to do.
No
And he
doubt.
said, when you take that plant, it's very much as you said. You have to when you fight against it, it almost makes it worse. If you don't
No doubt.
surrender, you just have to just you've taken it, just go for it.
No doubt. Because what is
So
fighting is the limited you.
yeah,
That's what's fighting.
mm,
You know what I mean? Because its only existence is based in its identity. You take away the identity, that's death to it. Do you understand what
mm,
I'm saying? But the aspect that you actually are is deathless. It's
mm,
eternal. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there is no fear of this concept of death, which is really transformation. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I was no doubt as well. And remember, as Bobby Hemmett always used to say, the holy land is where you stand. So as
mm,
much as 100%, I'm interested in going and doing it in the forest in Peru, 100%. I've done it twice,
mm.
both in the UK, right? And the last one, yeah, boy, yeah, gems upon gems,
Yeah,
gems
yeah,
upon gems upon gems,
yeah,
upon surrendering, upon knowing, upon loving, upon just giving thanks. Do you understand
yeah,
what I'm saying? And I'm saying
yeah.
that to say because I'm around people, I'm doing it around people that's good. I'm never speaking to a buddy's like, yo, there, this is my 14th time.
Wow.
God damn, like,
14.
how many times you have to, what? Like, and that's because I remember having a conversation with the feminine, divine feminine at one point, which said the medicine meets you at the level that you've met yourself,
Mm,
right? The medicine only meets you to the level that you've met yourself. So
mm,
if you ain't done any work outside of that, then you only gonna get what you get and what you know. But
yeah.
the more you develop the understanding of self, is the more you reveal aspects of yourself, and therefore you can access. You understand what I'm saying? And that's all about your ability to surrender your conscious mind to be able to step into your subconscious mind or re-emerge that 10% that we use back with the 90%. It's the
Mm,
same with your DNA. You got this concept of junk DNA that scientists don't know what the fuck that is for. Do you understand what I'm saying? But
mm,
this is where predominantly the information lies. In fact,
mm,
they've even found out now that there's certain genes that turn on once you die. It's called the Lazarus effect, right? You just go
whoa.
Google Lazarus effect, and they're saying now, yeah, when people die, there's certain genes that get switched on, and they don't know why go on.
So what use would that have if you're dead, or is that supposed to follow your spirit or your soul, or is that gonna be in the memories of your then activated in your ancestors that's alive? What's the purpose of that?
Right. So if you're applying the understanding that your subconscious mind is the mind that never forgets, therefore it's the mind that knows all. And so this junk DNA is connected to that. So what's
Mm,
actually waking up? So remember, in various schools of thought, there's levels and layers to your body. It's not
mm,
just the physical body. You have something called a subtle energetic body, which is dealing
mm,
with the prana, chi, the life force, right? Then you have a mental body. Then you have something called a bliss body. You have
mm,
different levels of body. Do you understand what I'm saying, right? And when you're speaking about what use this can have, what comes to mind is I don't know if you've ever read Maladoma Sohn's book of Water and Spirit,
not
of
yet,
Water
no.
and the Spirit, right? And so there's a part I want to spoil it for you, but that's an absolute must book you get, right? But within that, it speaks to a well-known understanding in various African cultures that there was a part where his grandfather died, right? And the shamans or the Ngangas or the mystery men or whoever it was within that society and that culture came, done two rituals where he died, and the grandfather was actually able to walk. stand up, walk back to his village, and have a proper burial um,
mm,
ceremony. This is after he
mm,
dead. He died in the hospital. But you say, yo, there's certain things that took place. The man stood up and walked back. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so
mm,
the preparation of death is something that is integral to all African spiritual cultures. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right?
mm,
And so this understanding that the physical death is simply just a layer, right? It's just a layer of who and what you actually are. So when we look at the ECG machine and we see the flat line, that flat line is only representative of the energy fields that they're able to pick up. But they're using technology that's limited, that comes from their limited mind. The
mm,
indigenous have the ancient technology that was able to perceive all levels of existence. So even though your physical body's dead, they still have access to your energetic body. And so, because of that, now they can do certain rituals on an energetic level to prepare you in order to move on and go where you need to go. Do you understand what I'm saying? The science of death going all the way back to ancient Kemet. If you
mm,
look at, the most prevalent teachings to come out of that is the whole science on death and how to have a successful death, because they understood that this hair was and is temporary. This hair is merely an illusion. It's a reflection of something that is real. Going back to that 10% and the 90%. What we perceive as real is your 5% ability. So you ain't is imagine somebody was 5% blind,
mm,
right? And then they're coming to tell you, all right, cool. This is what this is. This is what this is, and this is how they're trying to define something that they're only able to perceive 5% of. You'd be looking like, what?
mm.
I hear you, but nah, B, there's more to that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's more to this, and it's an internal knowing rather than a logical comprehension. You ain't trying to get this understanding just logically because you just reduce the information
Mm.
to the egoic based consciousness. What you want to do is allow this information to access your heart, but you have to step aside in order for that to take place. You are the obstacle. The you that you think you are is the obstacle. And we're always going to go back to this. This is the 101s of spirituality. Before you get into your rituals and you're doing all of this and working your magic, don't get me wrong, all of those things, they'll work, right? But
Mm.
it's what I'm seeing is if a person doesn't do those particular rituals, oh, their life's all fucked up now. I had a bad week because I
Mm.
didn't pour this and I didn't do my libation. You understand what I'm saying? That just
And then
reduces
that in
the
itself is a
validity.
form of like when you said hell, like density, then
Right.
um like all right, so just gonna kind of go back to what you said about when you said about Lucifer falling and because even that if you look at out there in nature, yeah,
Hmm.
it's like the higher you go is the lighter everything gets like vapor, air, evaporation, then what you call space, and then the more you come to Earth is the more things get dense.
Right.
So what you're saying is that when you're Leo saying Earth, hell is on Earth, and
Hmm.
then being attached to earthly things,
Right.
because like even a lot of the Abrahamic religions, they when you're attached to earthly things, it's like it's almost like slavery. So I
Yeah, yeah.
think as well, it's like being just attached to certain habits and rituals and not being able to transcend
Right.
them.
Right.
It could
Right.
also be
Right.
a form of slavery and hell
Right.
if you're not careful, innit?
Right. 100%. And a very subtle one at that. Very subtle. Do you understand what I'm saying? And even the whole concept just to build on that, which is a great observation, even the concept of there even being an other. See, or sometimes what we do is when we come into spirituality, we get this this